Hello, my beautiful people. Today we are learning about mulligans in this week's episode of Magic Made Simple. So, if you ever question yourself about how, why, when, who, what, where, why, all about mulligans, stay tuned. I'm going to explain it all to you in this episode. So we got this hand. Is this keepable? Well, let's break it down. So here's our hand. We have 3 lands, brushes, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Just going to put cards for simplicity purposes. Now you might be thinking, well, that's good ratio. We should keep it. We should always keep 3 lands. This is one of the worst mindsets to have while mulliganing. You are not looking. You're not looking for land ratio. You're looking for plays. If I was going to say we are no longer, this is these 7 cards that you will play for the rest of the game. You do not get any more. What can you do with them? Well, turn 1, Warlock class. Turn 2, Shamble Shamble. And then turn 3, we could start scrying. We can start saving up these to potentially get Gary out. It just all depends. But in this hand, this is a very keepable hand because of how many plays we had. Let's take a look. Turn 1. So, turn 1. How many plays do we have? 1, 2, 3. 3 different plays. Turn 2. 1, 2, 3. Again. And then 2 turn. And then turn 3. We have a full board. 1, 2, and then 3 again because we can scry. Turn 4, because we scried, we will have another card, which would equal 4 turns. This is pretty good. So I would say, since we have 3 plays, turn 1, this is a keep. So let's take a look at another hand. So let's say we didn't want to keep this hand. Let's see what else we would get. Let's mulligan. Again, let's do the same thing here. This is our mulligan hand. We now have 4 lands. And we have 3 cards to play. Okay, so that's what we got. We got 4 lands, we got 3 cards. What plays could we make? Well, turn 1, we have 2 plays. Turn 2, we have 2 plays. Turn 3, because all we have is creatures, we only have 1 play. However, because of the way Field Artisan works, you have to know your deck on this one, is you can fish for things you want with that. And since we have 3 land, we can fish for a 3-cost card. So I'm actually going to say we bumped it back up to 2 plays. Is this keepable? Yes. Why is it keepable? Because again, we are above, we have multiple plays that we could do for probability purposes per turn. This is also key. Now, you did take a mulligan. What card would you put on the bottom? Well, if we took out a creature card here, that would limit our plays down to 1 per turn. So instead, you want to drop this down to 3 lands and bump it back up to what we originally were at, which is 2, 2, 1, 2. Because without that, you would not have anything. This is the mindset you want to look at. As when you're looking at your hand, think to yourself, what am I going to do with these 7 cards the next 3 turns? In this case, 6. Which card do I discard for this? That would be the Swamp. It gives you the most amount of plays possible given this hand. These are always things to consider. And if we take another mulligan, again, we have 3 Swamp here. This is also keepable. We cannot play these with 3 Swamps, ditch them. We can play the rest of our hand, as you will see here. We have a turn 3 play, we have a turn 2 play. This is a good hand, even though we did have to dump 2 cards. Now we even have more. Setting up for turn 4 play. Because with the other Warlock class, we get more skies. Obviously, this is deck specific, but the point still stands is that you're looking for plays, not for land ratios. So, now, when you're looking at mulligans, these are a couple of things to keep in mind. This is a big one for me that I don't see talked about nearly enough. You have 60 cards in your deck. You have cards. You have about, let's just say 20 for easy math, 20 lands equals 1/3 of the deck. 1/3 of your cards put C for creature, L for land, S for spells. Land. This is important. 1/3 of your cards will be lands. Keep this in mind because lands, you cannot play Magic without lands. You have to have them. You have to. So if we go back to this guy right here, obviously you have to have lands, but keep in mind that when you mulligan, when you accept a mulligan, you can take plays. This is my golden rule, Trisha's golden rule. You can fish for up to 1, maybe 2 lands. If you need 3 lands to continue your plays, no go. You have to mulligan. You can, those are risky takes, and I am all for risky takes. I take them all the time because if all I need is 1 land to make a good play work, I have 1/3 of the chance to do so. So keep that in mind. 1 out of every 3 cards, statistically, should be a land. Obviously, that's not correct math, but you get the point. If you need only 1 card to make your play work, I say go for it. But this is the other golden rule. Make sure you have 2 plays before you fish for a land. You want at least 2 plays. You want to set up. You cannot let your opponent have 3 plays for free. Depending on the matchup. If you know the matchup, game 1, this is more important. Game 2, if you know the matchup and you think you can get away with it, go for it. But in general, you're going to want 1 or 2 plays before you fish for a land. So let's run through a couple of example hands real quick. And we will see how each mulligan looks and what potential plays we have. Okay, we have 4 lands, 3 creature cards. What can we do turn 1 through 3 here? This is our 3 cost card. Turn 1 play, turn 2 play, turn 3 play. On curve, turn 4, we can start sacking these to draw cards. This is an absolutely keepable hand. It would pay. This is a very solid hand. Now let's take a mulligan. Again, 3 lands, 4 creature cards. What would we ditch? This is depending on the matchup, and this is depending what you want to do. In my opinion, I would actually dump Glowstrider here because you can use her when you fish for cards with Fiend Artisan. You will get the ping damage, and you'll have High Devotion, which with enough mana you can move into other stuff because this is a Devotion deck. So what do we got here? See, we have 3 copies here. We can't play this on curve. You would dump both of these. You would dump 1 because at turn 5 you need to play something. Obviously this isn't ideal, but at turn 5 you're kind of in a pickle. You need to have something. So, and then we have curve for 2 and 4. Not ideal, but again, mulligan down to 5. That's what you get. It did work out in our favor because now we can play this into Fiend, into Scries, and everything works out. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Those are kind of the ways I view mulligans, the way I think they should work, and I think mulligans are very overlooked. It is probably the absolute most important tool in the entire game. I will say it again, it is the most important tool. There is nothing better, there's nothing stronger in Magic the Gathering. You can have the best deck in the world, but if you don't have the cards to play them at the right time. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Magic Made Simple, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Twitch. I'm there every single day. Check me out on YouTube. I'm in there every single day. And without further ado,